Hi guys, my name is Kemi YORUBA. In this video, I want to give you guys a gist about what happens today. It is just a banter, right? So I was in church today, invited some friends and family over for a ceremony. We're supposed to have a Thanksgiving and then a refreshment session at home. First, if you are from Benin, I'm very sorry. Okay, I'm married to a Benin man and I didn't grow up in Benin City. But since I came here, there's something I have noticed. I noticed it immediately. I'm still struggling to manage it even till date because my upbringing is completely different. So I noticed that the people here are harsh. When I say harsh, it's like the way they talk to you, the way they bring out issues, even simple issues, they just like tense you up and speak harshly about it. I realized it doesn't necessarily mean they mean bad, okay? It does not mean they mean bad. It's just those that are from here, maybe Edo State generally, and those that grew up here, even if you're not from the state, they have this harshness about the way they communicate and they address issues. Even things that are not problem, by the time they speak about it, for people like me, it brings like tension to my spirit. I don't like it. It's very toxic for me. Sometimes I just don't want to be in certain environment because, and they are okay with it within themselves, but coming from the outside, I feel this, and I've heard some other people talk about this harshness in the air, no lack of kindness in how you talk or present issue to people. Okay, let me get to the issue. At the church, you know how you see some family members you have not seen in a while and, greet them even though you're inside the church. So there was this lovely, lovely woman that's I love that I just like her person. She's also from here. That's just to tell you that it is not everybody. It is just a generalization or a large percentage of people here that have this harshness about them. But that aside, okay? So while I was greeting this woman, another woman approached me. Guys, the woman just saw me and immediately she was like, hey, you don't fart. See as you don't fart. So this woman was basically comparing my look now to how I looked about 10 years ago. That was the time I got married. Although we have seen in between, and this is not the first time she's making that same statement. You know that if someone is complimenting your look, it sounds different. Like if the person says, oh, you look good, or you've added some flesh and it makes you look gorgeous, okay? But when you come to me and tell me fat, I know that you don't actually mean it well. So she was like, you don't fat. And I said it right away because I'm quite sensitive to words, and sometimes I like to just voice out how I feel immediately, even though I know I have to be mindful, but at the same time, I don't want you to spoil my mood for the rest of the day. So I told her, no, I'm not fat, with a smile on my face. And she was like, you fat, inside church, okay? And I was hugging someone else. She actually came to join us, and she was shouting that, you don't fat. You know how music will be loud in the church, and somebody is also raising her voice to match the volume of the music so that I can hear her. I said, no, ma, I'm not fat. Because I know I'm not fat, okay? I'm actually the weight I was like 5 years ago after I had my second son. That is what I weigh right now. And I even look better because I've been exercising, so my form is better, okay? I still have the aesthetic recti, so I still have a bit of a tummy in here, which is not bad, guys. I feel really great about myself. I didn't like it, and it spoiled my mood a little bit. So I realized then that, no, this is not the first time this woman is talking to me like this publicly. So I just knew that someone may just continue for the rest of the day, and I'm not ready for that. So I decided I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to call her and, tell her that, no. My weight is not the first thing you should be talking to me about every time you see me. So after we're done taking pictures at home, it was time for refreshment. I called her aside. She's an elderly woman. Sometimes people feel you shouldn't voice out your mind. You shouldn't voice out your feeling because they are way older than you, right? We have this culture of silence. You just keep quiet and just soak it in. Before you know, you are building up resentment against a lot of people that you should have, spoken out to about certain things. So because of that, I called her aside and I told her respectfully, ma, please, I respect you and I appreciate you a lot. So please don't take this the wrong way. I had to put that forward. And then I went ahead to tell her, and now you saw me again after all these years. You don't know what I've been through. You didn't even know that I had a baby. Do you understand? She saw a baby with me, but she at the time I had a baby, I'm not very close enough to her. So she's not even up to date with what is happening in my life. She doesn't care whether I had, whatever. She just not in my life in that way, and you're seeing me for the first time in years, and the first thing that comes to your mind is, I am fat. Hello. After I told her, she was like, no, it's not like that. So you took it the wrong way. It's not, no, I actually like it. You know, some people, they will be fat, but they will not look fine. So she actually, they say, but you look well. So she's actually saying you are fat, but you look fine. You understand? I like it. I'm actually saying, but I had to insist. Okay, I knew what she was trying to do, downplay the issue and tell me, oh, you are fat, but I don't mean it in the wrong way. So I had to tell her, ma, please, I personally would prefer my weight is not the topic of conversation next time you see me. So let's catch up on each other's life. Let's care about other things in our life. Not that you start calling me fat every time you see me. It's going to make me not to even want to. But as I was talking, she was talking, no, I love you. It's not like that. I understand that there is this cultural thing, generally with the older generation. There are just certain things that didn't used to be an issue. So probably she didn't mean it in that bad manner, but not today, not 2024. You're seeing someone else, you're seeing somebody for the first time in years, and then every time is there, you are fat. The funny thing is, this particular woman, I'm not even as fat as she is. She's actually chubbier than I am. Yes, she's chubbier than I am. I'm not as fat as she is. So if I wanted to be rude, the first thought that actually came to my mind after she made that statement, I actually spoke to my husband, and he knew I was upset. And I told my husband, I'm going to tell her the next time that I'm not as fat as you are. And he was like, no, don't do that. In between, before I left church, I just decided, rather than reacting to what she's saying by throwing another hurtful word at her, I will rather just initiate a new conversation and kind of respond rather than reacting. Okay, so that's way, okay, we even hugged each other. I don't know whether she actually, understands me, but that's not my problem now, okay? I have voiced out my mind. I am at peace, and I hope she's also at peace, because eventually when I told her that I would prefer that my weight is not a topic of conversation, she was like, okay, now that she knows, it won't come up again. Sorry about that. So that was how we ended the conversation. And I have a clear mind now. Assuming I sucked it in and I'm like following her, don't talk, just leave them, I will have still been hurt by now. I won't have, voiced out my pain. And the next time I see her, it actually affects how I address her, or I may just avoid her completely. There's another woman that I saw today again that she did the same thing to me. That was 10 days postpartum. I had just left the hospital like few days before then, and my daughter was on admission till a day before then. So that day we're supposed to have a naming ceremony. Normally the naming ceremony is 7 days after delivery, but we couldn't do it because my daughter was still on admission in the neonatal unit. So we've been struggling as a family. On that day, only for you to come and visit impromptu. She came to visit us impromptu. I actually just told you guys in this video. I'll drop the link above. She actually came impromptu, and this woman didn't stand up from her chair to come and look at the face of the baby that she came to greet. She just sat apart and kept complaining about my weight. And she was saying it in pidgin English, very painfully. I was still so vulnerable. So after that conversation, I went inside and I cried. I felt bad, 10 days postpartum, my stomach was still kind of big. And she was like, now so you go just the fat they go. You just big. Hey. I stylishly ended the conversation, went inside, came back again, and she continued. See as you just fat. I'm sure because I used to be very tiny. So now I'm actually looking how I want to look, okay? Apart from the fact that I want a slimmer tummy, my body weight, I love it. I have been working so hard on this body. And when you think you are making progress, or when you are actually making progress, some people that may have not seen you in years, maybe they saw you last when you were lekpa, you come and start making insensitive comments about your weight. So if you're watching this, please, let's do better. You see, women, we have our own problem, and I'll continue to say it. I don't want to embrace that positivity and tell ourselves, oh no, we are women supporting women and all of that. No, at the end of the day, who is the mother-in-law that is embarrassing the young wife? Or who is the young wife that is hating the mother-in-law, and who is the sister-in-law that is quarreling with all the other wives? Do you understand? There are so many things. Men don't even concern themselves with these things, but we as women, we keep, fostering negativity, bitterness against each other. I understand that we are emotional beings as women, and this affects how we address ourselves and address issues that come up. But please, let's do better. Start from knowing how to talk to people. Start from being open-minded to conversations. Start from thinking of how to make people comfortable around you, not throwing words just to embarrass people or to belittle them so that you look bigger. It doesn't make you bigger. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't solve any problem in your life at the end of the day. I just thought I should put it out there again. But at least we, the younger generation, we can do better. The reason I am bringing up the postpartum fat shaming issue all over again is because I saw the woman that fat shamed me. That's a year ago already, right? So I saw her again today, and I didn't feel free, okay, with her, because I know at a certain time I was resentful towards her, even though I don't feel that way again. Okay, I have let her go in my mind. I don't think about her. I don't even remember her. But when I saw her again, because I didn't address the issue then, I just didn't want to be in her space. Like, I basically greeted her and moved on very casually, not the way we used to relate before. And that's because I didn't address things when they happened. I only vented to my husband. I cried about it. I did everything but speak up for myself. That's how bitterness and resentment builds up when you allow issues that you should have spoken about and resolved. You allow it linger in your heart, but you don't address it. Like, the person that offended you may not even know that she offended you. And then I'm sure honestly today, I felt like she felt that, okay, she knew I didn't want to be in her space. Every minute, normally, anytime I pass by her, I will mention something again and we'll laugh about it. Or just, she's not very close to me, but at least we are cordial when we come together. But it was not like that today. And I think that further validated the fact that I spoke out to the person that tried to embarrass me today. I felt good that, okay, Kemi, you're doing the right thing. Because this other person, it's too late for me to start calling you. And 1 year ago, this is what you did. And I didn't like it then. Because how will I even say it? I won't be able to say it passionately because I'm not even thinking about the issue again. I'm not angry. I don't feel any type of way over that, but it has done something to the relationship I have with her subconsciously. Even me, I was wondering why I was not free with her. Like, I just didn't want to be there, okay? I kept living wherever she was, not because I was angry or anything, but because I had been hurt. I didn't want that to happen again, and the way I addressed it was by not, creating an environment for that kind of conversation, which is not the best for a relationship. So the best way actually is to speak about your feeling when you are hurt. No matter whose hurt is God, you have a responsibility to, speak, but make sure that your motive is right, okay? You're not saying it to get back, just to get back and, vent because you are angry. If it's necessary, give yourself some minutes to cool down, then you address the issue. Before I left the church, I even had to excuse myself, just go and sit in the car because I knew that I had to employ emotional intelligence when I want to address her. I knew that I could not go there angrily and just, that would be disrespectful and she will be angry. She will be angry. Rather than addressing the issue, she will get defensive, okay? But I just knew I had to cool down a bit. We got home and did a couple of things before I, called her aside, not in the presence of others as well, just to, tell her how I felt. And one of my aim was also to make sure that it doesn't, keep happening again. Because that will make me just avoid you generally and that relationship is shattered. These are two scenarios. How I addressed the first one was to cry about it, vent to my husband, another person about it, but I never confronted the issue. But this time I did better, thankfully. I hope that resolved the issue. I hope that doesn't make things worse. But even if it does, at this point, I can't take responsibility for that. Because saying how I feel is actually more important to me. If you decide to take it the wrong way, I don't think it's my responsibility to make you feel better about it. And I'm very sorry I mentioned Benin people here, just from my observation. And I struggled so much with how people talk to me here when I came in here, coming from a Yoruba background, where you respect people and Yoruba people, know how to pick insults in small conversations. Okay, if you as much as make a little gesture when you're talking to a Yoruba person, we understand when it is an insult. And I understand that also makes me very sensitive when some people may not be insulting you coming from another culture, or it's just generally their way of life, and me, I'm coming the way I am too. So let's create a balance, guys. Let's create a balance both ways. But now I think I'm better actually managing the way that people talk harshly. If it's very painful, I will have a conversation with you. I won't soak it up and just forget that it happened. I'll have a conversation with you. If it's something very little, I may just ignore it. But trust me, when I'm still invested in that relationship, I want to talk about it. It is only when I've given up on that relationship, like, I don't care. You're not my friend. You're not my family member. I don't want anything to do with you. Whatever. Just do what you want to do and go your way. There's no need to having such conversations with you. And also, there are some sensitive relationships, like in-law relationships, especially in-law relationships. It's not really everything you can talk about. So I pick my battle sometimes. I pick my battle and trust God for healing, to heal me of negativity and negative words. Well, generally as humans, let's do better. Yeah, that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for listening to me, and yeah. See you guys in my next video. Bye.